Hey everyone, I'm Tyra, and today I'm joined by master hairstylist Ariel Gallion to talk to you guys about weave. At Hairfinity, we get a lot of questions about weave, like should you wear one while taking Hairfinity, how to care for your weave, and what happens when your hair begins to grow faster because you're taking Hairfinity and you're wearing a weave. First things first, it's perfectly fine to wear a weave while taking Hairfinity. In fact, a lot of Hairfinity users actually wear a weave to protect their hair while taking the vitamins. You may have even noticed on our social media pages, women who wear a weave, when they take their weave out, their hair is long, thick, and healthy. Weaves are great for a couple of reasons. It gives your hair a break from excessive styling and heat, which is essential to healthy hair growth. Additionally, it gives you a chance to try out different styles and colors with very little manipulation to your hair, if any. In this video, we'll discuss everything you need to know about wearing a weave as a protective style, and tips on how to maintain your hair and your weave while taking Hairfinity hair vitamins.
Today we're going to be installing a weave on Tyra using hair from Toya Wright's hair collection. Let's get started.
Before installing a weave, you always want to have clean and dry hair. You can shampoo with anything that you would like, but usually more gentle products. You always want to moisturize your hair afterwards to make sure that your ends are well manicured and kept up as well before you proceed to install. When protecting your edges, there are one of two ways you can do it. How I'm doing Tyra's hair today, we are actually going to leave her edges out and omit them from the equation completely. Those ladies who do not want to deal with their edges, you can actually go ahead and braid them up, but you just need to be cautious of how tight the braiding is while you're doing your sew-in. This is actually the part that we're going to be leaving out, and we are just going to kind of braid it up just to get it out of the way. If you do have edges to work with and you have lengths around your edges, I would definitely recommend just leaving them out. The less tension you put on your edges, the better it is overall. I know some ladies do not have the luxury of leaving out their edges, which is perfectly fine. They just want to go ahead and, if they do go ahead and do the braids, you want to apply less tension as possible. I tell a lot of my clients during a good installation, you should never be in pain afterwards. It should feel secure, but not so tight where it's hurting you at all. If you are leaving in pain, it's not a good thing. You never want to be in pain whenever you have braids. The tighter it is, the more stress you're going to cause on your hair. And there are certain things called traction alopecia or traction trauma that over time, if the hair or the braids are too tight, it can cause long-term damage, what we don't want. Women who experience extremely dry scalp, you may want to go ahead and add a little oil on the scalp after you do the braids, just for the comfort and soothing of a dry scalp. But the majority of the time, you won't have to add anything. We always keep in mind less is better. So if they don't have a problem with dry scalp, I wouldn't apply anything to it. I recommend that you have your stylist use a net for your installation, just for the simple fact that it protects your hair and allows your stylist to spread out the tension of the overall installation. I prefer a net just because, like, over time your hair will get woolly, like just from the aggravation of washing it and stuff like that. And sometimes your natural hair or your existing hair will wrap around the wefts. And so when you go to take it out, you literally have to like rip it out.
Rip your real hair out?
Yeah. And so that's why I like the net, because it keeps everything encased where it should be, needs to be. Because if you think about it, whenever you wash your hair like this, it'll start making them kind of fuzzy, like a little piece, like our end will come out here and the end will come out here. It's not a big deal at the time, but when it dries, it'll tend to curl around it. And so this just keeps it. Yes, everything is low tension. Just because you have the support of the braids, you have the support of the net, and then you also will have, you know, tension behind the support of just installing the weave. Everything needs to be low tension. At any point in time, if you do feel discomfort, you definitely need to let your stylist know, because any discomfort or any pain is not good pain. A lot of people have the misconception that pain is beauty, and in some aspects it is. But regarding to a sew-in or having your whole head done in a weave, it's not. Hairfinity is a great supplement to take while your hair is in the protective style, because it has all the nutrients your hair needs to grow long and strong. It's always good to take something while your hair is at rest, so you can have the full effect of the supplements you're taking. One of the most essential parts of wearing a weave is having hair that actually matches if you are going to leave any of your existing hair out. For Tyra's installation, we chose the wavy hair. She expressed that she wanted fuller hair, and then also because she's a working mom, she wanted something that's low maintenance and easy to go. So if she ever needed to just wash it and go, she has a versatility with the wavy hair for it to curl up when it's wet, or if she wanted to do something different, she can always use a hot tool to smooth it out and it will become soft and silky when it's dry. Whenever washing your weave, I would suggest using something very gentle or sulfate free. You always want to follow any washing with conditioning. Every time that you do shampoo your hair and or the weave, you need to liberally apply a deep conditioner to your hair and the extensions and sit underneath a dryer with a plastic cap for at least 30 minutes to keep your hair moist and hydrated. Whenever you're having a sew-in and you have the net on, I really recommend everybody getting a bottle with a nozzle on it. You can do one of two things. You can either put the shampoo in your hands and directly put it onto the net and just kind of rub it and just make sure that you get a good lather within it. It's going to take a little bit more shampoo than normal. Or you can fill up your nozzle bottle with the shampoo, add a little bit of water, and just squeeze it directly in there and still go back with your fingers to lather it to get a good thorough cleansing of the scalp. Also recommend that people who have excess oil on their hair, or if you have oily hair, to maybe get a little bottle of Sea Breeze and come back with the nozzle before your conditioner. Squirt the Sea Breeze in there, continue to lather with the shampoo, rinse thoroughly, and then follow with a good conditioner. When washing your hair underneath your weave, just make sure that you thoroughly shampoo it and make sure it's, whenever you do wash it, it's thoroughly dry. You never want to leave any moist or wet braids underneath the extensions, just for the simple fact that you always have heat coming from your hair, and if at any point in time it is wet or damp from you washing, it can sometimes mildew or just have a foul smell to it. So you always want to focus on washing it thoroughly and just making sure it's dried properly. If you're one of those ladies who have to wash your hair every week, I do suggest that you just wash your existing hair once a week. You can just go ahead and separate this from the extensions that you have now. Pin the extensions back, and then just concentrate and wash your hair that is being left out. When taking out your weave, it is very important that you do it properly. First, I would suggest you going back to the person who installed it for you, or have someone take it out for you so you don't cut your hair. Once the weave is removed, comb your hair thoroughly before you wash your hair. This prevents the hair from tangling and breaking off. After washing, make sure you use a protein treatment and trim your hair. This will help the hair remain healthy.
Ariel, you did an amazing job. Thank you. Looks wonderful.
You're welcome.
And guys, hey look, if you follow all those steps that Ariel laid out, you too can have a weave that looks just as great as mine, plus properly protect your beautiful hair to help it reach its maximum growth and health potential. Well, thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to like Hairfinity on Facebook and also follow us on Instagram and Twitter for more great hair care tips.